That girl crying out, she's saying, "I can't breathe." It's hard to watch, but those are the kinds of scenes playing out in Iran recently. The suspicion being that thousands of schoolgirls across the country have been deliberately poisoned with some kind of toxic gas while in class. Now, from what we've gathered, no deaths have been reported, but there have been plenty of hospitalizations, and victims have suffered all kinds of complications from respiratory problems, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, heart palpitations. And the parents of those students, they're angry. In this video, parents are shouting at school officials. They're yelling, "Cowards." And here, a mother is seen rushing up to the gate of a primary school. She screams, "Where is my child?" And someone replies, "They've thrown gas." And here's a father desperately trying to climb a school gate where there appears to have been another chemical attack. You can hear students screaming. The scale of the attacks is growing, with more reports surfacing just this weekend. They've spread to 25 of Iran's 31 provinces, prompting parents to, in some cases, pull their kids out of school and protest. So who's behind it? And where does the Iranian regime enter the picture? Well, that's not clear just yet. But just this morning, Iran did make its first arrests. Now, we don't know anything about the people detained or how many even there are at this point, just that arrests were made in 5 provinces. The Deputy Interior Minister says an investigation is underway. And for the first time, just this week, Iran State TV reported that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said that poisoning schoolgirls, if deliberate, is an unforgivable crime which should be punished by death.
میخوام تأکید کنم که این مسئله رو به جد باید تعقیب کنن. مسئله مهمی. اگر واقعاً دست‌هایی در کار باشه و افرادی، گروه‌هایی در این زمینه دخالت داشته باشن، این جنایت بزرگ و غیر قابل اغماضی است.
But words aside, the fact that it's taken this long for anything to happen has parents, activists, and educators accusing the regime of being complicit at best and directly responsible at worst. The earliest known poisoning occurred in the city of Qom on November 30th, 2022. It is the religious heartland of Iran and said to be the backbone of the Islamic Republic. Some speculate that the poisonings are the doing of Islamic hardliners, inspired by the Taliban in Afghanistan. In that country, for example, women and girls aren't even allowed to attend high school or university. But others say, just look at what the Iranian regime already looks like. Like, when mass protests broke out following the death of Mahsa Amini for wearing her hijab improperly, it was overwhelmingly young women and girls who took to the streets. They are the ones who called for an end to the regime. They defied police, risking being arrested, beaten, or worse. And there are questions about just how motivated the regime is to stop these attacks.
The truth remains that they're clearly complicit. These attacks have been going on for months now. They have intensified and ramped up over the last couple of weeks. And there is no way that in a country, again, that has eyes and ears everywhere, that a group of people would be able to, go forward with these chemical attacks without the government having some clue of what's going on. And
consider that for a moment. One of the most surveilled countries on the planet, it has used technology to crack down on protesters. In fact, it's precisely why taking part in protests has been so dangerous over the last several months. The point being, how is it that the regime, after all of these poison attacks against schoolgirls, has not been able to stop those attacks, which, remember, have been going on for 4 months? Now, we don't yet know exactly what kind of noxious substance is being used in these attacks. And to date, regime officials have given conflicting reports. But listen to this account of a young student who witnessed the attack.
First, we smelt gas, she said. Then someone in class became dizzy. When this worried mother showed up and blamed authorities, she was viciously attacked.
Some reports from doctors on the ground suggest it could be a weak organophosphate agent. Organophosphorus compounds are normally used as pesticides, which are hazardous to human health. But until there's a comprehensive investigation, it's hard to have a concrete answer, which is why there are more and more calls for accountability.
The authorities have said that they have ordered an investigation into these incidents, but we do urge that such investigations should be transparent and the findings be made public to bring the perpetrators to justice.
Now, obviously, we can't predict what justice will or won't look like in this context, but the attacks, they have gone on for months now with no way of knowing whether they will continue. This past weekend, the attacks themselves spawned new protests. People taking to the streets in Tehran and other cities on Saturday. Again today, teachers took to the streets across the whole country to protest. Secure schools is our right, was their slogan. Furious that there are still few answers.